What radio? The music you want.
With your host, Steve Dan.
Yes! I like it.
RadioWhat.com. What's up, party people? Keys Dan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. Today on the program, I have Gino Gallela from Mobbed Up Records. That's about all I know about him right now. I look forward to getting to know more about him. He seems like a pretty interesting guy. I've already searched him up on the Facebook, and it seems like he's got some things going on. So I want to know more about Gino Gallela, Mobbed Up Records. So let's call Gino Gallela. This week's shows, I have the Old Post Barbecue in Russellville, Arkansas. I have the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam, family friendly. That's from 6 to 9, Old Post Barbecue in Russellville, Arkansas. Have some good barbecue, have some frosty beverages for the adults. But I keep the music family friendly. Yeah, I think we got a birthday party coming over there, maybe 2. There's a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old. So come on out, man, celebrate. And then on Friday, I have the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, my regular video dance party karaoke show. Now, last week at the Rab, it's kind of a pool hall. They have pool tables. They have a full bar. They got the kitchen. And last week, I was told in the beginning of the week, hey, this is going to be our last karaoke show. We're going to get more pool tables in, put some shuffleboard in, put some beer pong, and just have it be a pool hall. And then so I put it out in my Facebook. I usually advertise that I'll be there on Friday, and I put down that this is going to be my last show. Let me tell you, the people were not having it. The Rab in Conway, Arkansas was inundated with all kinds of messages. So I'm very happy to say that I will be back at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, Friday night, as usual. It might be a little tighter because I think they are going to move more pool tables in. They do have a pool tournament quite a few times a week. I know on Friday night they have a pool tournament, but usually I'm on one side of the building and then the pool tournament is on the other side of the building. So it seems to work out just fine. But I'm so happy that the people have spoken and the people wanted me to be there at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. And then Saturday night, I got nothing right now, and I like it. I think I'm going to go see Sideswipe, the band, over in Mayflower. They're going to be at Taylor's Made, so I'm kind of stoked about that. They're not too far away, so I know you've heard the podcast previously. It's Sideswipe, local band, good kids, man, and they're up and coming, and they rock, I'll tell you. And Mayflower, it's only about 10, 15 minutes away. So I'm stoked that they're coming so close. So I'm going to probably head down there on Saturday and check them out. So, hey, I need to talk to Gino Gallela. So let me get him on the phone. Calling Gino Gallela now. Paging Gino Gallela of Mobbed Up Inc. What makes you famous, man? Tell me a little bit about you.
Just basically, we're out of Chicago. We do things a little bit differently. We like to do a little bit of everything, classic Italian, I guess. But we got the recording studio over here for our record label, obviously Mobbed Up Records.
Well, with a name like Gino Gallela, it has to be Italian. And I said it the Southern way.
Name there. A very Irish name there.
Well, I'm half Irish. That makes people about half upset most of the time.
There you go. But we got Mobbed Up Records. We do music. We do TV and movie production. We do a little bit of everything, you know.
I like that. I like that, man. So tell me all about it. Gino Gallela. Am I pronouncing it properly?
For probably one of the very few that have said it right the first time. So thank you for that. But
well,
yeah.
you took the time to give me a pronunciation key. you said Gallela sounds like Gallela.
It helps. It helps. You know?
Very good.
Otherwise, it probably would have got murdered. But
so how's life?
now we do that. What else do we got? Let me run you through it. We got, I import olive oil from Italy, which not a whole lot of people do because it's legit. A lot of fake stuff out there.
Man, you got your fingers in a lot of pots.
Not only is
there.
it just the extra virgin, it's not just extra virgin, but we got about 40 different flavors, which is what kind of makes us a little special. You know.
Wait, is that under the Mob Duck Up Inc.
So
logo
right
as
now,
well?
not yet under Mobbed Up. I do have a Gino's brand that we have in a couple locations, but
There
we do
you
a lot
go.
of private labeling for other people.
There you go. So out of Chicago, where do you keep all that? Where do you keep all that good extra virgin oil?
Yeah, so right now it's down at the East Bank Club, which is kind of a private club. A lot of people, may or may not be familiar with it, but it's downtown Chicago. It's in their store. Pretty minor right now. Again, we focused on the private labeling just because we have such a good product. We want to be able to share that with everybody else.
Dang, Gino Gallela, you're keeping it all to yourself. You need to share that with the people. Don't make it so exclusive, man.
That's what we're trying to do, though. We're trying to open it up. So that's on the agenda. But we got a lot on our plate. So we're trying to we made a heavy transition in the music world probably a couple months ago. I mean, I don't want to say a couple months ago, but within the last 6 months, we made some huge strides in the music world. So
tell me where it all started. I'm looking at your Facebook. I could see you're from Chicago. I've heard it's my kind of town my whole life.
Yep.
I've never been up there. I've never been really not too much farther than north of the Mason-Dixon. Now, my brother was in the Navy. He was at Great Lakes, Illinois. And he spent a lot of time in Chicago. So he told me a little bit about it. He said that town's pretty cool. What's your take on Chicago?
I mean, Chicago's home. You know, anytime I go anywhere else, I really miss it. What we get, we're kind of spoiled out here with the food. So anytime I go anywhere else, it's like it's a nightmare trying to find somewhere to eat. You know.
No, I believe it. So okay, so let's go through the eats then. What's your type of food? What's your thing to do in Chicago?
Oh, you got to throw out Italian, right? It's hit the hot spots. You got Rosebuds and Carmines are at the top of my list.
Okay, are they both downtown?
Both downtown, and they have some outskirts suburb locations as well. But you're not going to get much better than Rosebud or Carmines.
All right, shout out for Rosebuds and Carmines, man. Yeah, be a part of the the tourism bureau of Chicago, and tell me about 100%. Your town, man. Take me through the streets. And what does Gino Gallela do when he's hanging out? When he's not doing the Mobbed Up?
We do a little bit of everything. Yeah, so Mobbed Up again. We have our own clothing line as well. We got a cigar line. We are partnered up with a tequila brand as well, El Nacimiento Tequila. Very popular here throughout Chicago.
El Nacimiento.
We're in all the binnies. It's actually in the Chicago Fire Soccer Stadium.
You see, I'm half Cuban too, so I'm from Miami, so I know the Espanol as well. So
there you go.
But I guess
better
Italian, Italian's a little bit pretty close. They're
similar,
pretty close.
To an extent.
I think I could make it if I went to Italy, or even Little Italy.
Nice. There you go.
And is there a Little Italy in Chicago?
Yeah, there's quite a few of them, little break-offs. I grew up in Bridgeport and by Midway Airport, so that's obviously a pretty dominant Italian area. And then you got Taylor Streets, pretty much probably if you want to come and get the good Italian feel or vibe, just go hit Taylor Street downtown.
Taylor Street.
That's
the main
pretty
throughway?
old school. Yeah, it's pretty old school over there. Can't really find anything that's more legit.
Well, pretty much every town has their own midway, I guess, or throughway. I guess Beale Street in Memphis, and was it Duval in Key West, and what am I missing?
Right.
Oh yeah, Bourbon Street in New Orleans.
There you go.
So is Taylor Street the place in Chicago? Yeah,
I'd say Taylor Street is probably one of the more well-known areas, especially since it's probably the better of the Italian festivals that are thrown every year. As far as the largest and kind of more old school and safe to go to still, you know?
Okay. All right. So take me through today. You said you just came out of the studio. You had a busy day. What did you do today, Gino Gallela?
Yeah, so today we got some more stuff set up. Obviously, the studio we have set up for recording right now, but we're adding a little bit each day. So just bringing new stuff in. You know, we just had a couple sessions that were in and out today. Yesterday we had Jazzo stop by. He was actually Jay-Z's mentor, so that was pretty cool to meet him.
You said
for the first time
Jazzo?
myself. Yep.
I've never heard of Jazzo. Tell me more about him.
If you Google him, just Google Jazzo, mentor of Jay-Z. He'll pop up. He's been around since the 80s. You know, he is, they call him the originator because he actually taught Jay-Z. So.
All right. I like that. I like the sound of that. Everybody started somewhere. And so you say Jazzo was in your studio today. Was he recording something new?
No, he stopped through. He was on his way through town. He's actually coming to check it out. We got some things that we're working on that's not really, talkable at the moment, but we're working on some projects. So
okay.
Hopefully something very soon with him will be happening.
I just looked up Jonathan Burks, Jazzo.
Yep, that's him.
That's the guy. He's out of Brooklyn. How did he make his way over to Chicago to meet up with you?
So he's actually, he does a lot of business with, a partner of mine that I just brought in to kind of help me out a little bit. His name is Wally from Urban Grind TV and Urban Grind Radio here in Chicago. Been around a long time.
I like that,
So,
man. You're making connections, and I see you got your finger in a lot of pots, man. You gotta hustle these days. You can't
Got to.
And plus, if you're in an entertainment type business, you don't. I know myself included. I get bored. If I try to do just one thing all the time, yes, I could DJ a party. Yes, I could do a podcast. Yes, I could get on the radio and play for a few hours. But yeah, I got to have my finger in a lot of different pots, man. And I see that you're the same kind of guy, Gino Gallela. And
it's kind of a gift and a curse at the same time, right?
Yeah.
We do things that seem normal to us, but to others, they think we're nuts, right? But
right.
9 to 5 regular life is not for me.
It's not for you. And I know there was a B.B. King song, and he said, you go to work at 9 p.m., that's the life of an entertainer. I remember that was,
right.
And I've lived by that rule. I know that I do go to work at 9 p.m. a lot of times, and I don't get out till 5 in the morning sometimes. And
right.
And once you have your own business and you have Mobbed Up Records, and I know it branches out further, it's probably, is it a Mobbed Up Inc., Mobbed Up Productions Inc.?
We have Mobbed Up Inc., Mobbed Up Records, and we have Mobbed Up Merchandise.
There you go.
Now we're actually starting a Mobbed Up magazine. So
see, that's great, man. You got a brand, and you're building it. How long have you been building this Mobbed Up brand?
I opened up Mobbed Up, I want to say 6 years ago, something like that, 6 to 7 years ago. When we started out, we were working mainly with boxers and MMA fighters. Because growing up doing boxing, that's kind of like where it started up,
You a pug?
What's that?
You a pug? Pugilist?
Yeah, I don't really know what you're saying, but
a pugilist,
I can't really hear you.
A boxer. So. You throw hands?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you. Yeah, no, I grew up boxing, I kind of like, I'm out of shape and old and have kids now, but I love, my past growing up, I loved it. I love watching it. I love the sport.
Yeah, my reckless youth. I worked out at Candyman's gym in Orlando, Florida. That was my thing,
awesome.
Man. Candyman. He was great. And that was an old, all right, it just, you walked in and you felt like, oh, this is like Rocky's gym. It's all torn down and wrecked. It's not.
So you were at a real gym.
Yeah, it's not quite fresh, It's not Rocky 2 or Rocky 3. It's Rocky 1. Right. It's Mickey's old gym.
That's awesome.
And so,
no, it's just a different kind of living, too. It takes a lot of devotion. And, you got to really, to be in a boxing, you got to live it 7 days a week. That's what it is.
I know we're going all over the place, man, but take me through the beginnings of you. So you were a boxer. Did you were you amateur or did you go pro? Or
yeah, I was good. I did Golden Gloves here in Chicago. I had my little stint, but I wasn't really. I wouldn't say I was on Tyson level. You know what I mean? I just like being around it. It kept me in shape.
Yeah, for sure.
I did a lot of street fighting over the years, outside the ring.
Well, I guess, growing up, we got to fight our way out of situations sometimes. And I know that
it is what it is, like anybody else. Just growing up being a kid,
Well,
especially here in Chicago. It's just part of life. So.
I mean, anybody on the outside, thinking about Chicago, gangster, bang, bang, and here you have the mobbed up brand. You've embraced it. You've taken that feeling of Chicago and it just embraced it and turned it into a brand. And I appreciate
what a lot of people seem to forget is just like, everybody to some extent is interested in the lifestyle somehow. Even the federal government has had to go to people over the course of the years to get help over the course just to run the United States. So, I mean, it's like, where sometimes respect is due, it's not given, and it's not all bad. It's not all movies. There's a lot of good people. Just because you're Italian, everybody thinks it's something different,
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That comes with connotations. Yes, I guess now we can go on to the beginnings of Italian, because I remember Italians in this country when they first came in. Now it seems like it's black, white, and brown. It's pretty much more defined, but it used to be Irish Italian. It used to, right. The Irish didn't like the Italians. They didn't like the the Wops and the Jews, and it was quite a bit more diverse. And
right.
Now it seems like this melting pot is getting a little bit more melted. We're almost there. We're almost there, in my humble opinion. But we still got a few divisions.
There's always going to be separation. There's always going to be people that live their lives based off what the media shows you on a daily basis on TV.
Yeah.
Everyone's the same. You know what I mean? If you're black, white, brown, whatever, you can still rob somebody. It's just because your color of the skin don't mean anything.
I told you I'm from Miami. That's a big, big city, just like Chicago. Yeah. Big, big city. And then I moved to just north of Little Rock in Conway, Arkansas. And talk about culture shock. Everybody keeps to themselves. They keep, pretty much. Right. Separate, but then you have those little pockets of, hey, brotherhood. It's starting to come around. It feels like. I don't know, Gino Galella.
Well, if you're out there in Miami, as a side note, kind of off topic, then you should look up Cyril DiPazio and look up the Mob King, because that's another project that's pretty cool and interesting. That's one of the gentlemen that we have actually an olive oil line out for as well. But.
No kidding.
He's got some movie projects, and he's doing a lot, so he's actually somebody that might be of interest for one of your next podcasts.
So this is your podcast, Gino Gallela of Mobbed Up.
I know. I like to, you got to plug everybody, though.
That's true. That's the whole reason I started this podcast, because I like to build up people. That's the whole reason I started in radio back in '86, is because I like to build up people. Yeah, you make a couple bucks,
awesome, man.
But not really. Right. You're not going to make a lot of money in radio. There's only a handful, maybe two handfuls of people that are millionaires on the radio. Other than that, you're the fame of being on radio is what gets you the outside jobs, and you having having your fingers in all these pockets. I mean, in all these avenues. I don't say pockets. That sounds bad. In all these avenues, you are helping people up as you help yourself. I think that's a good way to go,
that speaks
Gino.
for itself. I don't have to say that about myself. Everyone sees how I move and how I operate. I always. It's a good feeling to be able to offer opportunity, and I have a lot of different ones to offer to people. So we didn't even cover everything, but the entertainment side, we'll also have a fire restoration company where we fix houses after fires. We've been doing that over 20 years.
Gino, you got so many avenues, man. Okay, all right, let's backtrack. Let's go through the different avenues, man. Okay, what year did you graduate high school?
So Hard Knocks, sixth grade. That was it for me. Got in some trouble at school.
Yeah.
That was the end of that. So, luckily my father had a restoration company that he had operating about 30 years, and I learned that business quite well, and I was very good at it, and I've been doing it since I was a little kid.
So there you go. You instead of finishing, you went to the on-the-job training, and it seems like it's working out for you.
Yeah,
you went into the family
people, I might not be good at grammar, but I'm really good at business and people skills, and but don't expect me to put a comma or apostrophes where they're supposed to go, because I didn't learn that. But
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to get through life without a diploma. I mean, and yes, the School of Hard Knocks is what you're going through. Did you at least get a GED?
That's it.
Did you get back?
I did get my GED.
Good.
Yes.
You did it. You did it. That's all you need, man. You got the basics, and you helped out your dad in the family business. That's a good thing too, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So
he used to. And he lived the same life, He used to own a bunch of bars here throughout the city. He did the poker machines. He did, the whole 9 yards. And I grew up around all that. But, now I punch my own clock. So I don't have to worry about the diploma because I work for myself. So.
No kidding. Okay, so what year would you have graduated? I'm trying to get, how old are you, man?
I couldn't even tell you. I'm 36.
36.
So,
Okay, you're still a young man of the world. That's good. It seems like you've done a lot of things in your young life. I'm 50, man, and
Nice.
I've done a lot of things too. But sounds like you're still doing it, man.
Well, I moved out on my own at 12, so there you go. That's when I started living on my own.
That's great. It's okay. So, I mean, it's not great. It's not the easiest life.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's my life story. I write a book one day, but it's normal to me because that's just what it was growing up. But it is what.
I don't recommend it to people, but
no,
you did
I wouldn't
it.
either. And I don't, I'm happy for people that have a nice life at home and all that stuff. But that wasn't, my life was great too. Growing up, it's just different.
It is what it is, man. It is. So, is Dad still around?
No, he passed away a few years ago. He had a lot of issues, so
I got you.
The only thing we're guaranteed in life. So.
Yeah, of course. And your mom? What kind of work did she do?
My mom's around. Yeah, she's doing good.
What did she do?
She actually works. She takes care of old people. So most of her stuff is, giving back and helping people.
Pretty noble, man. Pretty noble. And did you get a lot of value from that as well?
Yeah, I also I'm an executive director of a nonprofit company.
You have to stop.
So we do a lot of nonprofit work and do events and get back. And
you have to stop, man. Gino Galella, you're giving me so much to unpack, man. Every time I ask a question, every time I say a statement, you come up with another job. You're a hardworking man.
Yeah, it's kind of rough, But
you say it's kind of rough, but it seems like you're doing things that you love. And I
literally everybody I come across say, "Oh, you got to focus on one thing. This is the only way it's going to work if you focus." But for over 25 years, I've always been able to juggle, and that's just how I operate. So maybe because other people can't do that, they look at me like that's impossible. But I prove everybody wrong because I keep doing it. Right?
Yeah.
So.
Ask Jazzo and Jay-Z if they got to focus on one thing.
Right.
How many fingers they got their hands in? Come on, man.
And I don't drive all the planes, right? Just because I have all this going on, I put the right people in place that help. I'm not a one-man wrecking crew.
Absolutely, man. That's what you do. You hire people that are smarter than you. All right, you got this situation going on. Let me get somebody smart to handle that. Okay, so
100%.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right, you started in the restoration business. What was your next job after that?
Basically, I did some little odds and ends before I did the restoration. But restoration's been my business, man. I've been doing that for many years. I like it for two reasons: because the insurance company checks don't bounce.
Yes.
And it's very good money, and I get to help people at their worst moment, right? So,
Absolutely.
Picture somebody's house burning down. You don't know what the hell to do. Where do you turn? Well, here I come. Now I explain the process. I tell you exactly how it goes from start to finish. We secure your home. I get them in temporary housing, and then we fix their home. And then I get to hand them their keys back, and they walk back to their home with their family, and they're happy.
Man, I'm so glad to have you. I was a firefighter from 89 to 99 in Key Largo.
So you're familiar with how it works. There's good guys in that industry as well, and there's bad guys,
Dude, when we came out of the building, and I know myself, we'd come out, we'd put the fire out, and we'd see the family sitting on the fence across the street, just crying. Yep. What do you do? Yep. What do you do? And that's where Gino Galella comes in.
And I hear that. I hear that all the time. They're like, we're so thankful that you came out because we would have even know where to go. Like, where do we start?
Right.
I'm like, well, that's why I'm here.
That is why you're, man. Okay. That's your steady job, your bread and butter job. That's the one
that's how I'm able to do other things because I take my money out of that. I do a lot of giving back, and I start other companies, and it all comes from that.
Everybody has to have a steady insurance job, where they can have, where they can have their money for their family. And I'm guessing you're a family man as well.
Yeah, I'm married. I have a son and a daughter.
So sweet. So sweet.
Yep.
Good dude.
They keep you on your toes, right?
Okay, so when did the other avenues start? You've always been in the restoration business, Gino Gallela, but when did other things really start happening?
Well, the restoration business has really been it. And then just my whole life, I've always done side projects. Some of them we won't get into, but, now it's now that I'm older, right, wiser.
Well, yeah, give me the ones that you will get into. What was the first thing that you could talk about?
I don't even know which one came first, but I want to say always done something with merchandise or products or been able to find something just through contacts through the family or people that I knew. I'm very good at somebody having a need for something and finding the source for that and making it happen.
Like maybe a little import business type of thing?
Yeah, just anything, Somebody wants to, whatever, let's say somebody else is starting a business and they needed something. I could find a guy that can give them a loan. I could find, there's always something, right? You're
the neighborhood concierge.
Pretty much.
You need tickets to that? I'll get you that. You need some
one-stop shop.
Yeah, you need some extra virgin olive oil? I'll get you that. No problem.
Yeah. One of my cards said, "Now you got a guy," because I have extras a guy that I like. His name is G Fella, and if you look him up, he's got a song. Now you got a guy. It's hilarious to me, and he's a good guy. But his song is basically that: like anything you need, we'll help you out. So. All
right. Yes, the I know a guy. You're the guy.
Yep.
That is fantastic. Gino Gallela, man, I'm having a good time with you. I'm thinking that, Mob Deep Productions, okay, this guy, record producer, that sounds good. Painted you in a really small box, but everybody has a story, man. And you have a story, bro. I never know where these are going to go. And I'm so happy to talk to you, man.
I appreciate it.
I looked you up on the Facebook. I already sent you a friend request. You're a good looking dude. You got the glasses on. You look very Italian. And I said it properly this time because I said Italian, which is the southern way of saying it. It's Italian.
There you go.
But yeah, comedy. Love it. Okay. Okay, so
really, what I want to start pushing for the music stuff.
Please,
I like.
Let's do that.
We have so many projects with the movies and the TV. Like that's kind of my next push.
Well, let's go with the with the movies. What are you doing? What do you want to tell people?
So we got a few. We got a lot of trailers filmed. This will take only probably a couple minutes to explain. But
please,
my brother is a professional comic from Chicago. He did it about 20 years out in L.A. He's got a lot of friends and people he knows. So. We get to talking one day, and he knows I'm into pretty much everything. And before you know it, we're in L.A. We're sitting at Troy Duffy's house, the guy that made Boondock Saints, if you're familiar. Being Irish,
love
you should know that
the movie. Yes.
So we're hanging out at Troy's house in his backyard, and through contacts of mine, we're able to arrange for Michael Madsen to come by and be a part of this trailer we're filming called The Outfit.
What? You got Michael
Which you
Madsen.
can find on Facebook too. Yeah, so we got Michael Madsen attached to that. Pretty awesome dude. Like, so cool to hang out with. He chilled with us for, I swear to God, probably 3 hours after we were done filming. Just down to earth. Super cool guy.
Yes.
So, I just like to put some more time into stuff like that, really.
So this is you traveling around. You went to L.A. for that one?
Yeah, we went out to L.A. and shot at Troy's house because it was just that in itself. We used, because Troy helped, he directed it. Which was awesome, which really helped. But
so
we got other projects.
Yeah, this is you getting in touch with people that know things. Obviously Correct. Troy Duffy knows how to make fantastic films. It's what he does.
100%. Good people to have help you. Correct.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Then friends of ours out in LA also. It was easier to get access to cameramen to some of our friends. They live in LA. And they do a lot of the reality TV shows. They're cameramen on those. So they came by with all the equipment, which was also helpful.
Yeah, you didn't have to drag your stuff from Chicago.
Correct.
And it's good to know people. And it looks like you're making contacts. It looks like you're doing it the right way. And you're bringing people up on the way up,
As we go. And I don't brag. A lot of the stuff, we help a lot of people behind, closed scenes, so to speak, because
but the thing is,
what you're supposed to do.
You're
everybody
on a podcast. I want you to brag, man. You haven't even told me your brother's name. A famous comic from Chicago.
Rusty Dooley, and you can Google search him too. Rusty Dooley, comedian, very funny dude.
Yeah.
You know, he's been around forever. He's awesome. Sadly, I say, and I tell him, he's like he's the most known unknown comic because of his act. He knows all the big guys, you know, probably personal friends of his, but because of the act that he does, there's so many copyright issues that he's never been able to have the chance to really blow up because he can't put him on TV.
Well, the thing is about the duels, I'm guessing that's him.
That's him.
Another good-looking dude. It runs in your family, bro. So, you know, it seems like, does he stay in Chicago primarily?
He's here in Chicago now. Yeah, he came back home because he's got, he's here with his family. And
there's a lot of comics that make a living just staying in their hometown. You know, I'm a DJ. Yes, I can go all over the world if I want to, but I stay in my hometown because I got a family.
Right.
You know, I want to come home at night. And I suspect
that's where everyone knows you. You're comfortable there, right?
Yeah, and you know, I make a living, and I suspect that's where you are. Instead of having to go to other places to have people come and record, you made your own studio, and now people come to you.
Well, yeah, we started out going and bouncing around in other studios, but like anything else, that got old, and I had to figure out a way. Well, how do we just do this ourselves? Because I figured we could help more people if we ran it, not based off somebody else's rules, you know?
Yeah, and Chicago's not a bad place to come and visit, you know, in the area. I guess you're not exactly in Chicago. How far is Lockport?
No, we're in Chicago. So that's actually the address I put online. That's a P.O. box for mailing.
Oh, good deal. So if
we're in the city.
Yeah, people want to come, you know, they want to visit Chicago, see the sights, and record some music, and maybe do a movie in Chicago. Why not? And do it with Mobbed Up Productions.
It all.
Yeah, and as long as you've got all the facilities. So what services do you offer over at your studios?
Well, we offer, obviously, photo shoots, video shoots. If you want to shoot for a film, we could help with that as well. We have recording services. You can do recording. If you need a mix and master, we could do that. There's quite a bit that goes on behind it.
Yeah. And I'm sure
we pretty much have somebody for everything.
I mean, do you know anybody in the film bureau in Chicago that you can, if you want to film in the streets, I guess?
We know, we pretty much have access to anybody here in Chicago when it comes to filming.
Yeah. So, I mean, Chicago's
as far
a great
as equipment, if there's stuff needed, we have access to all of that.
Man, one of my favorite movies was Running Scared, and that was started in Chicago, and then it ended up in the Florida Keys, where Keys Dan came from. I'm from the Florida Keys, so there. Now you know why it's Keys Dan. But
I got to get out to Miami and out of Chicago and do do an in-person interview because I need to get some beach weather.
See, I'm in like I said, I'm in Arkansas now in Conway. So
gotcha.
There's things to do here, but I know I could do a podcast from anywhere. And I started this thing so I could learn about people, learn from people, and now I'm learning from you, man. So you have a recording studio. That's pretty simple to build. Do you have are you the guy that does the recording, or do you have a producer that you work with?
No, we got our main engineer here. His name is Mikey Main, and pretty familiar. A lot of people know him here in town. He's worked at some of the larger studios before I was able to convince him to come over here. So, which is good.
This is you.
We're also
Gino
working
Gallela.
on putting together some things in Las Vegas. Go ahead.
You're building an empire, man. I love it.
Yeah, sure.
I love it, Gino.
That's the goal. That's the goal. I don't want my kids to have to go through what I did. That's why I work so hard.
That is correct. That is correct, man. Yep. We always want our kids to be better. I know my kid's smarter than me already. And that's not even hard to do. She's learning Japanese. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
But and we want our kids to be better than us, and it sounds like you're doing it, man. You're giving them all.
Yeah, definitely.
You're giving them the leg up that they need. You're working like hard. You're working hard. Man.
I just want to leave my little bit of Eventually, one day I'm going to do something where I'm going to end up somewhere where people can read up on me after I'm gone.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, and maybe they'll catch up on this podcast and find out more about Gino Gallela, man. So, okay.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to know a lot about me way before I'm gone, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. You didn't make your mark while you're still here. That's for sure, man. And you're doing it. You said you've been 6 years strong going with this Mobbed Up productions. What was the first thing that you did with Mobbed Up?
Again, we were doing some management and stuff with the fighters, with the MMA and boxing. And
anybody
you know,
in particular?
A lot of people we were. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the people that are around now, they went on to. You know, I won't even throw their name because I know, like, my personal friends with that are kind of
good.
You know, they're a little bit more closed doors. But a couple of them are in the UFC, a couple are in Bellator. One of my friends I'll throw out there because he's an awesome guy, Robert Morrow. He's going to be fighting bare knuckle for that new bare knuckle fighting. But he's just coming out of Bellator off a couple wins himself. So
bare knuckle, is that legal? I haven't heard of bare
knuckle
knuckles in
is
a long
legal.
time.
It's coming back. Yeah,
No
it used to
kidding.
be gone, but now there's a guy, and I couldn't tell you where, because I don't remember off the top of my head, but if you look up bare knuckle fighting, I'm sure it'll pop up.
I'm sure. Oh my goodness,
And,
no way. So yeah, I thought
Yep.
you know, I remember UFC 1 and it was, you know,
And no rules whatsoever, right?
oh, that
And
was
they were freaking-
it was so bloody. They said we
Yep.
need to put a leash on this thing, and they did.
Yeah.
They kind of got it a little safer. I mean, it's still not the safest sport, but it's you know, it's still fun to watch and such. And but you got into
there was
it
a
6
lot.
years ago.
Yeah, there was a lot entailed. Eventually, originally, I wanted to go get my own ring. I was going to throw all my own fights and start my own league and all that stuff. But there's so many, you know, in anything you do in life, there's politics, and you pick and choose what you want to fight. And I saw early on that was not the kind of politics I wanted to get into, and I got away from it.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of insurance, man. a lot of liabilities.
Liability, yeah, 100%.
For sure. I mean, it seems like you're taking it easy, man. Or you not easy, but you're taking it a different route, something a little more palatable, so you can go home at night. And I'm sure the wife and kids are very happy about that. You know that you're keeping it close to town.
Luckily, I have a very understanding wife, and I don't live a normal life, and she's very understanding of my schedule, so that works out.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I here I am. What is it? 8:14 in the evening in Central Standard Time, and I'm doing a podcast instead of hanging out with the fam.
And I'm up at the studio, right? Still working. So.
Still working, man. So, all right. Any particular artists you want to throw out there that you want to give them shout out?
Right now, yeah, I'll throw out a couple. I mean, for right now, I'll mention, look up Slim the Sonoma Kid. There's a couple things out on him on YouTube, and a lot more to come. We're kind of revamping a lot of stuff and putting together a lot of packages for our artists right now. But, Kenny Murray, he's another one. Kingdom Crump, he's another. Crump is out of New York, and he's done a lot. He's been in the Purge movies. He's part of the Crump movement for the dancing groups. Does a lot of filming. Just a really talented guy.
So this is films, is this films or is this music?
Both. Yeah, both.
Oh.
But for the music itself, they're artists. All the ones I just named, they're all artists. But Crump himself, Kingdom Crump, he does a lot of other things, and me and him together are actually filming a series right now for Netflix. It's called The Cigar Club.
That's great. Another avenue that Gino Galella's in. Man, you're if you're not blowing up, you are about to blow up. People are going to know.
So if anybody has any contacts for TV or movies, please reach out, because there's always a need for meeting new people,
Absolutely, man. All right, so give them the avenues to meet up with you and find out more about Gino Gallela. Now, I'll definitely put him in the show notes.
Best way, just Facebook, Instagram, look up Mopped Up Inc., I'll pop up. I'm everywhere on there. Or just look up Gino Gallela, I should pop up on that too.
Well, yeah, I see you've definitely branded yourself with the Mobbed Up Inc. On YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. That's the place to find you, man. And I'm so happy to know you, man. So tell me about the extra virgin olive oil. How do we find out more about that?
I would say for right now, just stay tuned on the oil, because that's some things I put on the back burner as I move. But it's something that'll be revived when I am ready to reintroduce that to everybody.
I got to get into that exclusive club if I want that good oil, man.
Yeah.
Dip my bread in it.
The cigars are heavily ready. They're available.
Tell the people how to get the cigars.
Are definitely available. Again, just look up Mobbed Up Inc. On Facebook or Instagram, and I have a post on there. You can reach out, directly to me, and we sell them in bundles of 20, 40, or 60 or more, depending on what they want to buy. And obviously, the price point goes down the more you buy, just like anything else.
Now, you know I'm half Cuban,
and we ship
man.
them out.
I like the smell of cigars. Who's rolling your cigars?
So right now I get them from a gentleman. They come out in Honduras.
Good
But
stuff.
there's two different. I'm the wrong guy to really explain the varieties, but I do have them posted on our sites.
Once again, you got another guy that's helping you out, man. That's smarter than you
100%.
in this avenue. You're the
I should
guy.
have had like 25 people around me right now, because when you asked me certain questions, I could have said, "Okay, talk to this guy." 'Cause that would have been probably better.
You're the guy, man. You're the guy. You're the top of this fledgling empire that's coming up, man.
I just moved the pieces around,
Yeah, and you started out,
But,
and you still are restoring houses for these people that have had fires and disasters and water damage, and I guess you have to deal with snow quite a bit too. Is that?
Oh man, yep. Once a year,
Yeah.
But
So it's good that you have that, man. That's got to make your heart feel good. I mean, yeah, you're making a couple bucks here and there. You're taking care of your family, but you're taking care of other people's families as well. Gino Gallela, man.
100%.
I'm seeing it, man. And you're bringing people up.
And we get back a lot. We get called in. So we're on about 70 villages, because you're familiar being a fireman. So here's how Chicago works. So the city of Chicago itself, you call it the Wild West. Here's how it works. Fire happens, 20 companies show up.
Yeah.
They talk to the owner, and then the owner gets to decide, who they want to use.
Oh, my.
I don't do too much within the city.
Yeah.
How I get work in the city of Chicago is insurance companies call me out.
Sure.
Or referrals, because I don't do that anymore. I used to, because that's how the business was.
Right.
But now I'm in about 70 villages that you have to be licensed, bonded, insured, background check. There's a whole laundry list of things you have to provide before they'll use you, and then they call you out on a rotation list. So,
yeah, that's got to be a big hustle, man. I guess they called them ambulance chasers in the law. I guess you'd be a fire.
Yeah, 100%.
You'd be a firefighter chaser, or I suppose. So tell me about the nonprofit, man. People got to know about that as well.
Yeah, a nonprofit company called People to People Community Development Corporation. It was started by a gentleman, Steven, and he opened it about 14 years ago, running low-income housing and giving back to the community that way. And once I got involved with it, did a little bit of rebranding, and we've done a lot of events to raise money for soldiers and their families after they passed away, and different kinds of events for kids. The big movement right now we're trying to access is keep kids moving and, get kids outside again, get them off the video games, that kind of stuff. Stop the violence, all that good stuff that's floating around Chicago,
That's got to make your heart feel good too, Gino Gallela.
Yeah.
Man, you got to give back. You always have to give back. We have a place called Coho here in Conway, City of Hope Outreach, and I get to do a lot of events with them. And since you have all these music artists, I'm sure they'll lend a hand. If you just ask.
100%.
Yeah, you have a few music events for the people.
Yeah, I mean, so right now we throw some shows here and there. Our last show was quite larger that we did, but for the amount of people that we had on the lineup, we made it very affordable to come out. We had about 5,000 people came out to it.
Wow, that's great.
It was a good event. We're looking to throw them in Las Vegas right now. That's our next move. But,
You're taking it on the road, man. No, I'm sure you got plenty of people in Chicago to help out, man. There's got to be a big.
We'll continue to do shows here.
Sure
We'll continue to do shows here, but I definitely want to, having the contacts through some of the other businesses, you always want to go and utilize the areas as much as you can. So that's just the next move that makes the most sense. So.
Gino Gallela, man, Mobbed Up Productions guy.
He's damn. Boom. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
That's fantastic, man. Any last words for the people?
Just check us out. Look up Mobbed Up Inc. If there's something that you got an idea, we welcome everything. So I don't know how many times people came to us and, offered us a solution to something that we currently do, or, if they needed help with somebody or a contact, we're always looking to help out.
So sweet, man. Gino Gallela, get back home to that family.
All right, brother. I appreciate you.
Talk to you later. Bye now.
All right. Take care.
Well, there you have it, party people. Gino Gallela, Mobbed Up Records. No. Mobbed Up Productions, Mobbed Up Film, Mobbed Up Photography, Mobbed Up on YouTube, Mobbed Up on Twitter, Mobbed Up on Instagram. Mobbed Up. It's the brand, and he's going to be Mobbed Up Cigars, Mobbed Up Extra Virgin Olive Oil, Mobbed Up combs, and Mobbed Up bicycles, Mobbed Up cars. He's just gonna put Mobbed Up everywhere. I love it, man. He's going places, and he gets, I felt it that he was I was likening myself to him in that I don't like to be do the same thing over and over and over again. I like to do different things. Yes, I do a karaoke show at the Rab on Friday nights, but maybe I'll do a Sweet 16 on a Saturday or a Sunday, or maybe I'll do a wedding, or maybe I'll do another type of party, a corporate event. So yeah, I like to have my fingers in different avenues. And yeah, I have RadioWhat.com, the internet radio station that's been running for quite some time, and I get to put some artists on there, and hey, maybe Gino Gallela will send me some of his artist stuff, and I'll put it on RadioWhat.com. We'll get it out there. It's good to build other people up. That's the only way you're going to succeed in life, if you're building other people up, man. Quit tearing people down. Stop stepping on people. Not that you're doing that. Not that any of my fine listeners would be doing that. No way. No how. You are the famous people. You are the party people. And I'm so glad to have you here listening to the What Makes You Famous podcast. And I'm so glad that I had Gino Gallela on the What Makes You Famous podcast. Yeah. Hard Knocks, School of Hard Knocks. Yeah, maybe. But he got right to work. He didn't get out of school and say, I'm going to go go walk the streets and do nothing. If that's your lease in life, that's what you do, man. But don't go begging money for me, man. You got to go make your own way. And that's what Gino Gallela did. He helped his dad out, got into the family business, and guess what? He's still in the family business. Restoration out there in the Chicagoland area. Check it. I love it. I love it, man. And, helping people with the nonprofit, helping people that are needing homes. And yeah, he's got the Mobbed Up Inc. That is an empire in the making. It's only about 6 years old now. Started with the MMA fighting, and it's branching out, man. Build that brand, Gino Gallela. Build it. All right. Speaking of brands, it's Keys Dan. I think that's my real name. No, my name's Daniel Gilson. But that doesn't ring as well. Okay, it was my dad's name too. But anyway, Keys Dan from the Florida Keys, now in Central Arkansas. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. If you want to tell your story, give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
Radio What? The music you want. Hey guys, this is Shelly G with a fast fact. The world's first skyscraper was the 10-story home insurance office built in Chicago in 1885. During Roman times, buildings were up to 8 stories high. Do you have a fast fact? Share it with us at Interactive Radio, RadioWhat.com.
Hey guys, this is Shelly G. She said, what? Well, you are going to have to listen to the countdown to hear what I say. And make sure to keep listening to Radio What for more information and trivia. She said, what?